Scrappy friends, a big welcome to my YouTube channel today. Melinda Sweetman here with you, and this is actually officially my first share for the new year, so Happy New Year to you all. I hope this year finds you healthy, well, and feeling pretty good. I do have another video coming in a couple of days. I actually created that layout before I did this one, and so you will hear me say a very similar spiel at the beginning on that, but this one is obviously going live first. So welcome to 2023. As I said, I hope that it has been nice to you so far. I am working with the brand new dropped today Traci Reed Designs collection called Renewal. It is absolutely stunning. I love it. I love the colours in it, though if you've been following me a while, you'll know that I'm maybe struggling a little bit with the inclusion of purple. However, I have accepted its presence and I'm not fighting it, so we'll call that a win. What I'm working on here is it's the end of December and beginning of January in my 2023 Happy Planner. It is the memory planner, I think it's called. And what I've got here is, because the 1st of January was on a Sunday, I've got, you can see there, the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th and 31st of December all before that, and I like to kind of fill that page with something if I can. So I'm using this collection. You can see I've gone around with my ink pad that is Chip Sapphire Distress Oxide, and I have applied a bunch of colour. I used some masking tape as well to protect the backside and make sure that I didn't get colour where I didn't want it, but you can see I've just gone around the 3 edges. The reason I did that was because I knew that I'd planned this much in Photoshop. I had used 8.5 by 11 papers because they fit exactly over, like that is the size of the pages in this album, and my intent was to just basically stick this on top and work on top of that. But when this printed, it printed a little bit off what I wanted it to print, so I have trimmed it down so it's equal, and I've stuck that down. As you can see here, I've left it so there's a border on 3 sides. What I've got is one of the 12 by 12 pattern papers. I did print on 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11, and the border strip is one of the stickers that I have added a drop shadow to in Photoshop, and like I said, printed it at 8.5 by 11 as a full page sheet, and you can see I've got those, the left and the right hand side here. If you want more detail on how I did those pages, leave me a comment and I will make sure I add that to my list. I'm going to start a list of the things that I want to do on my channel this year. Feeling inspired. New Year does inspire me to set goals and set realistic goals and reset, refocus and work out where I'm at and what I want moving forward. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. On the right hand side of those 2 pages, that growth happens outside of your comfort zone is one of the Traveler's Notebook signatures that you can see I've stretched it on my 8.5 by 11 canvas so it filled the whole height, and then I dumped the 12 by 12 paper behind it so that anything on the left hand side of that was covered with the pattern paper, so that I had that continuous pattern all the way across the 2 sides, and then I've dropped the border on top of that. So you saw that I'm working on the photo that I've got there. It's, I think, like 3.5 by 4.5 or 5 or something like that. And it is a black and white photo of me. I actually took it on New Year's Eve. I kind of have set a new goal for myself for moving, fitness, health, feeling good about myself is what it comes down to. And so I got my butt out of gear. I got my butt into gear and took myself off for a walk and snapped a photo because yes, it was New Year's Eve, but why not just start these things when it works? So that's why I chose New Year's Eve to go for a walk and start focusing on my goals. So I'm building my title here. I have got white ones of these giant alphabets, but I did not have the letters that I needed to create this word. So I used the grey ones and some gesso. The grey of these letters was too dark, so I added gesso over the top to knock back some of that colour. And I'm really happy with how they work on this page. I've used I printed a bunch of the embellishments from the digital kit onto some vellum sticker paper, and that's where I got the word create. It's actually like gold wire almost. And then the white puffy alphas are a Heidi Swap product. I'm sorry, I just totally lost my words. I've had a really busy couple of weeks, as I'm sure we all have. So my words are failing me a little bit at the moment. And so my whole title is Create My Own Joy. So easy to focus on everyone else. It is so easy to focus on the things that maybe aren't going so well, or the things that we want to change. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to focus on creating my own joy. So that's where I got the title from. I've also, on that vellum sticker sheet, I did some of those rainbows, so I've added those. I thought for a little bit of extra something, I would add some of this gorgeous iridescent glaze by Vicky Bouton. I wasn't exactly sure how it would go on, so I was really light-handed to start with. And I mean, I don't go crazy with it, and it does just add a bit of shimmer, I guess, to my letters. It's not really obvious even in the photos, but you can see it in real life, and I really like just the extra bit of shimmery prettiness that it adds. So I have inked around the edges using the same Chip Sapphire ink, and then I have used that Distress Oxide, the Vicky Bouton glaze straight over the top with a dry paintbrush. Now I did have some tissue paper. I think I still do have tissue paper behind this photo, I'm not sure, but I do rip that off. I cut that part of the footage out because my end design doesn't have it in there, and I just figured it was easier. So you can see I'm playing with this glassine bag. I did want to add some journaling, but I really like all of the open, and I'm using little quotation marks here, white space, so where that blue leaf pattern is. I really like that, so I didn't want to try to write over it or add a big blocky journaling card or anything like that. So I'm using this little glassine bag that I'm going to customize the size on. You can see I'm just chopping that off. Because it's going in my memory planner, I don't want to add too much bulk, which is another reason why working with digital collections is fantastic for this, because I can add drop shadows and all those kinds of things. It gives the look of dimension without actually giving dimension, which is really super fantastic and handy in a project like my memory planners, because I don't use any kind of dimension in there. The fattest kinds of things that I use are like those puffy stickers that I'm using, and they're really low profile. Okay, so I've pulled off the tissue paper I had on the back. I'm just going to use the glassine bag behind my photo as well, and I'm just going through the stickers that I have printed out. I've got one little washi tape strip there that says note to self, and that's like got gold, faux gold foiling on it, really pretty. And then right at the top, small steps each day. So you can see here I'm playing with this January card. I love it. I really feel like I'm going to be creating some pocket pages with this as well. Surely we'll have things that we've done in January that I can use it on. So I went through the other journaling cards, and I found this one with a little tag on it. I figured I can print more. I can reprint it bigger if I need to. I can write on the back. So this is where I'm going to put like what I'm going to be focusing on this year, and kind of where my brain's at, that kind of thing. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. So that just really spoke to me when I was going through the Traveler's Notebook signatures. So that's how I ended up with that one. I've also got, yeah, I moved that small steps each day down. I've gone through my embellishments and I'm kind of struggling because I'm really liking the way this is looking, but I'm like, I feel like I'm robbing myself of the chance to embellish here. But I do not add much more. So I try these two little word strips here, good times ahead, and make it count. And then I found this little curved banner. It says looking forward. I'm like, yes, perfect, that's what's going there. I love it over the O, and that is where it is going. I think from here I add one more of the stickers, official starting place. So that's going to go there. I'm going to trim the white borders off. I'm going to add ink, again using that same Chip Sapphire ink, which goes beautifully with this dark blue. Once I stick this down, I realise that I haven't inked around the edges of my pattern papers, so I painfully pull that up and ink around the edges of those, but do not make you watch that. Everything that I had on the page before is stuck down now. And then I decided I need a little bit of something else. So I went through my sequins. I've got these ones by Spiegelman Scraps. They are called Golden Gates. And I started with the really sparkly ones, but when I get the other gold ones on here, you can't really see it on camera, but these little sparkly ones looked too red. So I pulled them off and I'm going to go with these flat-ish, they're almost flat, these flat sequins in gold. They're very shiny, I noticed when I was editing this video. And there's 3 sizes, a small, medium and a large. So I've got one cluster up to the top left, one I think around my title, one around that big quote, one down the bottom right hand side there, and one over small steps each day. So I've just gone in with my Scotch tacky glue, stuck those down. I'm going to go back in and punch my holes again. I've just pulled the backing off this punch here, and I'm lining up the holes that are already there. Punch. And because I've only got 3 little bits, I just pulled those off because there's some adhesive of them and got rid of them. I'm going to do the other side. Then I'm going to pop it straight into my album. I really love how this turned out. I have to go back in and add my journaling, but yeah, make sure you go check out this collection. It is on sale for this whole weekend. Traci always puts her new collections on sale for the weekend they release. Oh, I've added 2 lines of journaling with white gel pen down the bottom there. There really is something special about a new year. So there's a few close-ups here. I hope that you've enjoyed. As always, thank you so much for choosing to stop by and spend your scrappy time with me. Tell me, do you have resolutions? Do you have goals? Would you like to share what they are? I'd love to hear. If you are new around here, a big welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you've been a subscriber for a while, thank you ever so much. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them below. I'd love to hear from you. And I will see you in my next process video. Have a fantastic scrappy day, my friends.